Welcome back to my channel. This is Cosmo. He's coming to say hi. I'm going to talk about Cosmo today. He's about to shed on his back. So, if it looks weird like that, that means he's about to shed. And, he is a hypo tiger, possible het trans, not like the gender, but like that makes his fingernails, clear, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm having a picnic with him. I'm in my garage, so it's a little bit dirty, but I made sure to put down a couple blankets. And this is the chocolate milk stain, but it does not hurt him because I don't let him. Oh, that was a little too close. But yeah. Cosmo is a year old now. Really? He just rammed into the wall. He might poop in this video, but that's okay. He poops every time I hold him, and I will not show that. So, squeamish warning. I don't know when he'll poop or if he'll poop. Yes, it's a boy. He's about a year old, and he just loves to chill, and he loves his food, his bugs, and everything. He's not a big fan of his salad. Like, I can put it up to his face and he'll either only lick it or not do anything with it. Nothing. So, that's Cosmo. Having a little picnic with him. If you hear something in the back, that's just my brother. He's very sweet. I swear he gets played with like he's a girl. I have a whole bunch of girl stuff for him. I have a girly blanket that I made him. I have a whole bunch of other girly stuff. I just can't remember it off the top of my head. I put a tiara on him once. He looks very cute when he is dressed up. He has a dragon leash that's really pretty blue. He's so excited. He loves to be fed. Now, yeah, I have a bunch of blankets for him. This is his little towel that I use when he's out of the bath. But right now I'm just going to use it as his poop blanket so he doesn't poop on this blanket. We brought his salad in here to have a little picnic. And he's a really beautiful dragon. You're probably wondering why he doesn't look yellow or greenish or brownish. It's because he's a certain morph. He was $275, not including the cage. I do not recommend getting a bearded dragon if you are not experienced or if you've never had another reptile before. We got a leopard gecko before him, and we did about a year of research before getting Cosmo. So pretty much right after we got Cactus, we started researching about Cosmo because we went to Expo and fell in love with this bearded dragon named Pineapple, which is not from the breeder that I'm about to talk about. This breeder, it's called Kids and Dragons. They specialize in bearded dragons. They have so many different cool morphs. He was a little baby when he first got him. He wasn't as bright and he wasn't as friendly. He was really shy and scared. But this guy feeds his bearded dragons great, takes care of them great. They come in perfect weight. It's really easy to make a bearded dragon overweight or too skinny. They eat a lot. They love to eat. But they take a lot of time, and they're so much work. Their cage setup is really expensive. These bearded dragons, maybe not so much. But the cage is just a lot of work. We set his cage up probably like a month before we got him. Come here, buddy. Or a month or two, probably 2 or 3. the only reason that we probably are able to have a bearded dragon is because my mom works from home, so it's a lot easier to take care of him. And first off, his poops need to be cleaned up right away because if not, he can get diseases. Second, the temperatures have to be perfect, and his temperatures are always messed up, so my mom always has to go over in that room and change it, so thank God she worked from home. And last but not least, he needs lettuce repellently, and when he was a baby, we had to feed him 3 times a day. Usually you have to feed him 3 times a day with bugs, but since he was a little bit older when we first got him, like older than the ones in PetSmart or something like that, he only had to eat bugs twice a day and he still got lettuce. I feel like he loves this attention. Like, he keeps looking. He's so bright right now. Like, come here, buddy. And I will tell you what, I had a leopard gecko before him, and the leopard geckos are so much easier. Cactus eats like twice a week. He has a certain corner that he poops in. Doesn't need a... I'm going to say this. Please do not go out and get me. He does have a 40-gallon tank, and I know he's supposed to at least have 50. We are going to upgrade him someday, which I really hope we do. But he does get out a lot, and he's not full grown yet. He can get a little bit bigger. And he doesn't really use it much anyway. But if you want a more friendly thing, I would get a bearded dragon. But I would... Scratch that. Okay. If you want a friendly thing, to get a bearded dragon, you're supposed to get a leopard or some kind of easier reptile first, whether it's a leopard gecko or African fat-tailed gecko. They are just so much easier than bearded dragons. Leopard geckos and African fat-tailed geckos pretty much have the same care, but I've heard that leopard geckos are a bit more active, which probably isn't true because my leopard gecko is like a bump on a log. Like, he's really adventurous once he's out of his cage, but if he's in his cage, he's sitting in his cave all day long. So my leopard gecko is overweight. If you've seen Cactus, he looks overweight too. But I'm trying to get a good angle of him. But this looks really zoomed in when it's not supposed to be. Okay. If you look on his lip, it looks a little weird. It's because when he was a baby, he lost his scale there for some reason. I don't know exactly why. If it'll focus, it probably won't. I don't know exactly why, but it turned into a scab and fell off. So he's fine now. But if you look on top of his head, you see that darker scale. Kind of. It won't focus, but if you see that darker scale, you know why bearded dragons don't let you pet their head. It's because bearded dragons actually have a third eyeball. That darker scale on top is a third eyeball, which does see things. They cannot see color. It just kind of sees shadows above. So anything hovering over them kind of scares them. So that's why when I have him down, I kind of sit down with him. And oh, okay, hey. Excuse me, sir. Okay. Little set. He doesn't like to be held that way. But he does like to be held. Sometimes he will beg to get out of his cage, and it's the cutest thing sometimes. And then sometimes he gets a little crazy. One time, we have a screen top of his aquarium, and one time he actually was hanging upside down trying to get out. He really wanted out that day, and once I got him out, he pooped, and then he ran around and he had some fun. Then as soon as I put him back, he fell asleep. Another great thing about bearded dragons is that they are awake during the day. So if you have a little kid and you just kind of want a pet, they'll stay up during the day and hang out with you for a couple hours. Get a bearded dragon after you do lots of research and you have taken care of a reptile before, or some kind of, I'm not going to say it's just some kind of pet, some kind of reptile that's easier, a little bit easier, but bearded dragons are a lot of work. I can't say everything because I don't know everything. My mom is the one who did most of the research. I only did some of the research so that I could be allowed to have it. But this is Cosmo, and yeah, Cosmo says bye. Cosmo, eat your salad. He doesn't want to eat his salad. Really? Hey, at least thank you for not pooping. He poops every time I hold him, so that's the only downside. Not all bearded dragons do that. He only does it because he's a turd. I looked it up. Either he's marking his territory, or he's doesn't like me, and I scared the poop out of him. But he also does this thing called a love nudge, so I can't tell. Okay, but for real, bye. Cosmo says bye, and he also says Happy Thanksgiving, because it's Thanksgiving. Right, Cosmo? Yep. Bye,